Diego, well done today. Obviously, it was a pretty tough day, but you've finished the day on top. What was your secret?
Yeah, I mean, not much secret, I guess. We had two very good starts, and then I think we were sailing the boat quite okay. So in the ones that we didn't start so well, we put the boat around the course with good maneuvers and in good positions, I think, and yeah, kept it kind of simple and could catch up some points after not such good starts in those two.
How much on a day like today do you just have to, back your decision making? Like it's very hard to read the wind and know what's going to play.
Yeah, it's very tough, no? Because I think you really need to sail the wind you have in that moment, and you also need to kind of predict a bit what's coming. And also here in Sydney, it's a course with a lot of land features, and so knowing about them, you can tell the teams that have sailed here a lot that they are picking them up quite well. And yeah, we are trying to catch up on that, and yeah, I think we did a good job today.
Tom, up and down day for everyone out there. Obviously salvaged it at the end. How tough was racing in Sydney Harbour today?
That was really tough out there. I mean, I've grown up racing on Sydney Harbour, and I reckon I've sailed in those sorts of conditions a couple of times. There's a really light easterly breeze, and sometimes it was in the left-hand side on the left side, and then on the right in the start box it was a long way right, the breeze, but really patchy, and it was tough sailing.
Awesome job in that final race to stay on the foils. How hard is it in those conditions to whip it round through the manoeuvres?
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, the wind was up and down and the shifts were hard, but honestly the hardest bit was trying not to get involved in a battle with a different boat. We ended up next to the British a lot, and we were both trying to slow each other up, and I think the Germans in one race we sort of got locked in a battle with them, and it's just trying to keep in your own space and sail your own boat is actually harder than it looks.
Special moment obviously for Goob's first race back, and a race win, I think, if my memory is correct. How cool was that to do that with him in home waters?
That was great to give Goob's a proper homecoming and get out there and win his first race back in the green and gold. Yeah, for me it's just great. I've been wanting to sail with Goob's now for so long. We've been great mates for sort of 30 plus years, and to actually finally race together, yeah, it's amazing for me. And yeah, as everyone knows, he's the godfather to my son, and we've been talking about this for 20 years about sailing together, and we finally did it, and we won the first race and the last race of today, so yeah, we're stoked.
And give us a little indication tomorrow on the configuration and the conditions.
Yeah, I've just heard that the 27 metre wing will go in, so expecting a little bit lighter conditions, but the forecast I saw was more nor'east, so if it's a bit warmer than they're expecting, a bit more sun and less clouds, we might actually get a half-decent breeze. So in the northeast, with the wind as well, the race course will be a lot more fair, I guess. But hopefully the wind speed increases just a little and can have full foiling racing and close racing.
Nathan, tough day out there, but overall pretty good for your team considering. How hard was that first start for you?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that start. I was trying to put that out of my mind. Yeah, it's never fun doing a 360 because you're getting shut out. But we regrouped and did really well and sailed back through the fleet. And yeah, easterly on a Sydney Harbour is tricky, as we all know. But yeah, it's challenging and stressful, but a lot of fun.
You did a good job to overtake around the racetrack. What was the key to be able to make those moves when you needed to?
Well, I guess in the first one we were so far behind we actually had fresh air, and then that snowballed into us just keeping the boat on the foil, and we just kept the boat moving well. You know, Chris and Andy were doing a fantastic job just giving me a smooth platform to get my head out of the boat. Julie was doing a great job looking around, finding, favoured gates and good pressure lines, and that went really well for us in the first two races, but we actually started pretty badly in those races, so we were always trying to catch boats. And then when we went to 4-up, we had like a full configuration change. With the nationality rules, we can't have Andy, Chris and myself on the boat. So Dave Gilmore jumped on and did the wing for those races. And his first race he ever sailed in, we got second. So that was pretty cool. And then we backed it up with another pretty good race after that. So it felt like a scramble, and it felt really tough for us all day. But I think points-wise, we're in the mix with everyone else because I think everyone else is pretty up and down as well.
Dylan, tough day on Sydney Harbour. How does that rate in terms of tough racing conditions?
Yeah, really tricky day in that easterly, but I think I was proud of how the team kept pulling together. Didn't really feel like we caught a break, and not overly happy with the result.
I mean, everyone was struggling with the start line, trying to work out where to start. How hard is it when you're kind of in the lee of an island to pick your run up?
Yeah, it's certainly tricky with a lot of bias towards the top, quite left shifted, so really difficult for everyone, as you saw, like really up and down. But I think that that's kind of what we expected in that easterly, so maybe a little bit more tomorrow, but with the big wings it'll be interesting.
And obviously in the lighter breeze there's a lot of communication between you and the wing trimmer, I imagine. Probably the first time you've done that with Stu on the F50. How'd you go out there?
Yeah, it was a great day in reality for getting Stu into those conditions with us. First day 5 up and then 4 up, so really sort of proud of how we pulled together, and we were doing quite well, but it didn't really feel like we got a lucky break today, so maybe we'll get that back tomorrow.
You're pretty good at bouncing back after a tough day one historically, so you ready to go tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly. Fingers crossed we have a better one.
Phil, obviously super tough racing out there. What makes it so tough when it's conditions like that?
What makes it tough in conditions like that? Well, there's quite some big pressure differences on the course. That makes it hard, and the land effect as well. So the wind is sort of curling different ways around the land in Shark Island. So yeah, it was a very difficult little day, but we liked it.
Yeah, you guys did well out there, obviously sitting sort of just outside the top 3. You made some big overtakes out there. How hard is it, or easy is it when it's like that to be able to make those big moves?
It's actually surprisingly easy to pass a lot of boats in one move out there. But finding that moment is pretty tough. So yeah, I think you saw some big lead changes and some boats coming from a long way back and moving up into the top 3. We certainly passed a lot of boats. Didn't start great, but it didn't really matter today. It was just keeping your little blinkers on, looking out there in the sky to see what was coming down the course.
Taylor, just generally a tough day of sailing, but pretty good for you guys around the racetrack. How are you feeling at the end of today?
Yeah, it's a really tricky day. Really just had to adapt all the time around the racetrack, keep your eyes open, and we had 2 great races today, 2 P3s, so happy with those. But obviously, we're going to go back and work on being a little bit better for tomorrow. And I think just focusing on the starts a little bit more for going into racing tomorrow.
And we heard that there was obviously a couple of boats were getting closed out at the top end of the line, and you got into a little tussle. Can you just tell us what happened in that race with the Swiss?
Yeah, just a really tricky situation. Kind of got into a spot that we couldn't get out of, and did everything we could to avoid the start mark and the Swiss, but unfortunately just not quite enough room. The Italians kind of created the incident and forced us to the other side of the start line. At one point, it looked like he was going to put the bow down to start, and then he swung the bow up back hard and just nowhere to go. So, racing incident. But, it's a bummer, but, we're going to repair the boat and be out there tomorrow.
I mean, the starts just looked incredibly hard. Everyone was just trying to get off that line. How hard is it when you're in the lee of an island in those light winds to time your start?
I think everyone would probably say it was a really tough day starting. I think that there's probably a lot we can learn from going back and watching the video and seeing kind of what was working today. I personally didn't do a good job getting us off the line, so I'm going to focus on that for tomorrow.
Seb, just tough day of sailing in general out there. Can we first just touch on the start with USA and what happened there from your perspective?
Yeah, well, we were actually fighting with the Italians to get off a start on the race committee, and once we realized there was no door opening, we bailed out, but then the US came from behind with a lot of speed between us. So, not much we could do. We were already full turn, and I think, they touched the back of our boat. So, not much we could have done, but I think the umpires saw it the same way. So, it's after that we still managed to come back and catch a few boats.
Yeah, racing was super challenging. Obviously, once you got off the start line, it wasn't over. How hard was it to make decisions there today, and how, are you mentally fried?
Yeah, it was tough mentally, it's right. To be at the end of the day in those tricky conditions, and for sure if you had a good start, it helped. Once you had a trickier start, you really had to pick some good shifts and try to predict what was going to happen. There were opportunities, but they were not that easy to see. So, we didn't take all the opportunities that we had, so we're looking forward to tomorrow and try to do better.
Eric, how tough was it out there today? I mean, everybody had ups and downs.
Yeah, 1 to 10 is probably a 10. Pretty tricky conditions. Staying on the forest was the key for most of the day. For us, 3 medium races, or kind of bad races, and 1 where we overtook in the end quite a lot of people. by staying on the foils. So yeah, kind of staying in the game for tomorrow's racing.
The starts just looked incredibly difficult. What made the start so hard?
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky because the lull of the island, Shark Island, is pretty much at the starting line. So you can choose to start at the top and get the fresh air from above the island, or you come in and foiling, and then you shoot through the lull and catch it at the bottom. But if you don't time it well, then you also get off the foils, then everyone is overtaking you again. So yeah, that's probably the most tricky part to get going. We missed a couple of pops there, and just saw people getting past, which was not nice, but not a nice feeling. But I don't believe anyone was really feeling well today.
Martini, it was an up and down day for everyone, but for you, with 2 new people on board, I feel like that was pretty good. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it felt a little bit hectic. The wind was very twisting around the race course, and some moments it was really nothing, and so it was quite tricky, obviously, to sail the 50, in such close quarters with a lot of bad wind from all the boats. Yeah, we had some good moments and some really, really bad moments, and yeah, always trying to take the learning.
Nikolai, just super tough day on the water for everyone. Obviously started the day really well. What made it so tough out there for racing?
It was just one of those days where the marginal goes against you. I mean, normally we don't complain, but today it was just really unlucky, a lot of it, and we had massive board issues on the port side of the board. There was just violently going back and forth in the case, which was why we couldn't take off in the last race off the start line. And yeah, I don't know, it's a frustrating day. We need to sort out how we can get the boat to work properly on each race day.
Obviously, was able to get a pretty good first race in, and then you were just talking about like the start and the second race. How hard is it to sort of like time those starts right? It's just so changeable as well.
Yeah, starts are normally all right for us. They would have been good as well today, except that OCS. I think we're 0.01 over the line, but on our boat Wingscreen we weren't over on the software. So we need to go back and look at that, how we can maybe be a little bit less risky, because we don't need to push that hard. We're going to lead at M1 anyways if you're the first one to pull the trigger and go. So a few things to debrief tonight, where we just got to remove a bit of risk and then just clean it up tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully things will go our way a little bit more tomorrow.
How hard was it out there in those conditions?
Very. I mean, I think for us especially. I mean, we had a day of 0 ladders and lots of snakes. It was no good. We've got a bit to look at, but equally not. We don't really want to over-analyse too much either. Just one of those days for us.
Yeah, so hard. I know you had one really good start. It's just hard to sort of like stay up there and stay on the foils. Was that kind of like? Yeah,
I think we're just not firing, to be completely frank. We're doing quite a few things not that well, to be quite frank. I think we had two did good starts and one nearly. But yeah, we just couldn't convert either. I think weren't clean on the boat handling side. Not popping off the floor too well, not picking the right side. There was just not a good day.
Twilight racing for the first time. Obviously, sun's going down right now. How hard was it to read the breeze? Did you get distracted by the view at all?
No, it was fine. It was It was full light out there for us, but stood here now where the lights are on and it's fully set. But I think most of the F50s are in before dark, which is nice.